My first job was working as a grocery clerk at Save On Foods. It was my first paid job. I did work at a camp before, but it was volunteer work. So then I started working at Save On Foods, a grocery store, and I was in grade 10. It's 15, and it did not go well. I was signing up for in grade. I got the job in April because in the fall of for grade 11 I was going to do this outdoor program, and it was pretty expensive. And my parents were going to deal with me that I'd have to pay for half of it. It was like I had to pay like $500, but that was like a lot for me back then. And then still is a lot for me now. And then yeah, so I got this job at Save On Foods, and I was really surprised they hired me because the only experience I had was a camp. And they told me in the interview, they're like, "Hey, so we're taking a chance with you because you're the first high school student we've ever hired at this Save On Foods." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I just don't know what was up. I'm just not very good at jobs. Like, it takes me a while to get used to jobs and get to know people. But just everyone at the job just was so unimpressed with me because I just did everything wrong. And then, they always called me out on the mistakes I was making. And there's a thing you had to do in the store called facing. And facing was the dreaded thing to do in a grocery store. Everyone who works at the grocery store knows what facing is. It's when you have to sort every single object in the aisle to make sure the English side is facing out and to make sure it's like stacks of two on each row. And so I was sometimes given 8.5 hour shifts of facing the entire store. But then by the time you're done the entire store, half the shift is already done. Then you just start again because it's already got all the rows at the beginning have already been messed up. So yeah, that was not a fun job. People just did not like me in that job. I don't know what was wrong with me. I only worked there for I worked there till end of August. And it was okay. Like, I did make a lot of money. Back then minimum wage was $8.50 and I was making $9.75, which is like a lot. But then during the summer they bumped me up to full time without letting me know. I was working 40 hours a week. And as a high school student, that's a lot of hours, and so I was very tired. And overall, though, it was a good experience. It toughened me up to a lot of criticism. And it did teach me that, like, as soon as you get a job, get along with the people you're working with, because that's going to help you so much. Because before I was just kind of like, I didn't talk to anyone when I started, and that made them all kind of like, this annoying high school kid keeps screwing up. So, yeah, it was a good experience. I'm very glad I did it, and I made a lot of money.